when you talk, remember, don't slip back into your blue-pilled ways and put intentions behind your words. You just have to learn how to speak in ways that the same words you say have no intentions behind them. What's up, everybody? It's Mojo Libido, MGTOW extraordinaire. I said MGTOW. There you go. I guess it's catching on to me. MGTOW extraordinaire, the friend zone Houdini, the unchained man. I am not living the life of the man who is locked down anymore. I'm done. I'm out of that lifestyle. I am purely a rolling stone, a pumper and dumper. I haven't been doing much pumping and dumping lately, which I don't really care about, but whatever. So my talk today is about communicating with women, or learning how to communicate with women when you're MGTOW. The thing is, no matter what you do, if you are being social with people, you can't live your life not talking and dealing with females. That could be people in your family, women close to your friends, in your social circle, if you still have one. And women that you work with, and then just random women you happen to meet or walk by, or who happen to talk to you while you're out and about. Now, general conversation for the most part is okay, because everything is usually straightforward. So, hi, goodbye, how you doing, things like that. That's fine. The thing is, when you get past that, then females will start trying to get down into the surface. What do you have to know about communicating with females as a MGTOW man versus what you were doing when you were blue-pilled or beta, or even if you were alpha and you're MGTOW, or before you were red-pilled? The main difference that I notice, or that I see, is intent. If you have intent behind your words, then that leaves females to try to steer and navigate through communication and speech to try to find out things like what frame of mind you're in. What are your thoughts about her? And it could be little things that go from point A to point B in a millisecond, and you may not even know that. When you have intent behind your words, more than likely when you're dealing with females, especially if she's attractive and you're like, oh man, I wish I could pump her and dump her, that's the intent behind your words. Women have the ability, because they are very empathic or empathetic, meaning they have a stronger sense of emotions, and they have a stronger ability to read emotions and decipher emotions. Your intent behind your words is basically there based off of your emotions, okay? Or your desires, or what exactly that you want. To me, this is the jump off point for PUAs or anybody who's just trying to get into the pants of a female. And then females do it too. When they have intent behind their words, it comes out in certain ways. But the thing about females are their intentions are usually very well hidden, because when they think about something that raises their emotional output, they have emotions on top of those emotions, and then emotions on top of those. So you're left kind of wondering exactly what's going on and how a person feels, and this, that, and the other. This is why pickup artists learn how to use manipulative tactics to get around all of that and get them to reveal the true thing, or their true intentions. Or what they get them to do is to use cognitive dissonance to justify whatever actions that come forth from the game that a pickup artist spits to them. Okay? But when you're MGTOW, you're not worried about all that. You're not worried about manipulation. You're not worried about any of that. You're not even worried about the woman's, how she feels about you, or that validation, because that's what comes from being blue-pilled or beta. You always want to know, does this girl like me? I like her, but does she like me? How can I tell this girl that I like her without ever coming off really saying that I like her, or get her to notice me and this, that, and the other? That's that validation you want. When you're MGTOW, you don't need that validation. You don't need it at all. You don't want it, you don't need it. So if that's the case, when you talk, remember, don't slip back into your blue-pilled ways and put intentions behind your words. And it's not that easy at first, because if you're used to doing it, it's not going to be very easy at first. That doesn't mean it won't get easier with time. You just have to learn how to speak in ways that the same words you say have no intentions behind them. What that does is it leaves the female scrambling to interpret your words without intentions. What it does is it helps to expose how she's feeling. Because based off of her reactions, it's going to leave her wondering, what the fuck is going on? When you confuse a woman, it makes them think, what the hell is going on here? What you need to understand, if you do not let a woman know exactly ahead of time, honestly and openly, what it is that you want from them, then once again, you kind of leave yourself in a position to where they could detect your frame of mind and detect your intentions and then turn it around and use that on you in a manipulative ways, and you'll be back down the rabbit hole again. You won't even know what hit you. So let me see if I can think of a case in point. So you may run up on a girl maybe you're not even run up on a girl. You could just be sitting somewhere, minding your business, doing whatever, right? Handling your BI. A girl may notice you from afar. You're not trying to be noticed. You don't even care. Maybe, you're in your best duds for the day. Maybe you got a brand new cut, got your best duds on, you're looking pretty sharp. Girls notice that, they pick up that on you. And, when they don't feel or sense anything from you, they need to gauge that. They'll find ways of doing things like to close the space, like close proximity to get closer to you. They'll do things and do stuff to kind of get you to notice them. When that doesn't work, they'll go full out and start talking to you, and they'll find ways to open the conversation. They'll do things like, anybody sitting here? No, go ahead. Then you'll be sitting there, and you got this girl sitting next to you. You're still sitting there, doing whatever you're doing, minding your own business, not having anything. And then the girl will say something that she notices about you. Maybe she'll talk about your hair, or your jeans, or your shirt, or your shoes, especially if everything is like brand new and clean and fresh to death. And she'll talk about what you're doing. She'll see what you're doing, and she'll be kind of nosy. Or she may just try to open up a general conversation and start talking about, ask you if you know anything about the establishment where you guys are at. She'll basically start that conversation. Now, mind you, especially if it's a female you don't even know. Okay, if you never even met her before, she starts engaging conversation with you. She's doing it because she needs to know. She needs to justify her attraction towards you. Okay, she's not doing it because she wants to be a friend. No female that I've ever known has ever gone out and said, hey, if I meet a guy today, I just want to meet him to be friends. No, that never happens when it comes to guys. That's not how friendship works, period. For you to go out and make friends, that's really not how it works, period. But they end up becoming friends with guys based off of what you say when you come out of your mouth. So here she goes. She finds a way to open the conversation with you. You're kind of busy. You don't shut her down because you're like, all right, well, you just want to humor her for a moment. So yeah, I don't know anything about this place. I just sit here right now. And I just sit here and do my work, and that's it. Oh, well, what are you working on? And that's when the floodgate starts opening. You have to be able to shut that down, because what she's going to do is she's going to segue what you talk about into something either personal about her, or personal about someone she knows, or maybe something personal about you. Then it becomes an interview. So what you have to do at that point as a MGTOW man, because once you start hearing that, if you don't allow the red pill in you to be up front and foremost, especially in your mind, your old blue pill ways are going to come up. And what's going to happen is you're going to fall right into that. So you need to shut things down from the gate. You can say, listen, I'm working on something very important. To be honest, it's none of anybody else's concern or business, not even yours. I would like to get back to work. And then just leave it at that. If she gets upset, she gets pissed off, that's on her. It's not on you. You were minding your business. You were doing your work. Leave it at that. She came over and started a conversation with you. You're not worried about that. You were doing whatever you had to do. I don't care if you were sitting there playing a game, a video game. I don't care if you were just sitting there looking and staring off into the sunset. The point was you were there minding your business. You weren't hoping for anyone to come and talk to you. And then, some women can be crafty and say, well, why would you say it like that? If you didn't want me to talk to you, you could just say, I'm busy right now. Once you say what you have to say to stop them from continuing on to talking to you, then you just leave it at that. You don't even have to say any more. You can just go back to doing whatever you do. If she gets pissed off and calls you a jerk or whatever, that's a test. You may even hear her from afar talking to a friend or something like that. That guy's a fucking asshole. I was trying to talk to him and ask him this, that, and the other, and then he just tells me, look, I'm working on something. It's nobody's business. I'm going to get back to work. And then just kind of like it starts ignoring me. What a fucking jerk. You may hear something like that, and she says it loud enough across the room for you to hear it. Then you already know that you got under her skin because she felt entitled to talking to you and to having your conversation. Yet you shut down that entitlement because you had no intentions of talking to her. Your intent was to complete your work and do whatever you were doing, continue to mind your business. And she tried to interrupt that. it's not that you don't want to talk to girls. It's just that, what's your mindset as a MGTOW man? Pump and dump. Look, what's the use of me talking to you? I don't want anything from you. I don't want to get to know you. I don't want to know who you are or where you're from or what you're doing. I barely even want to know your name. If there's anything I would ever want from you or ever do with you, it's to just screw you and keep it moving. When you start putting that out to girls, they'll be like, you're a fucking jerk. But you know what? Females do the same thing. They have the same mindset. They just don't approach men in that way. Not all the time. There's a lot of women that do that now because of feminism and shit. But at the same time, there's still plenty more women out there who don't. But down beneath the surface, it's what they want. This is what they'll do. This is why you deal with stuff like Tinder. Now, when you're MGTOW, things like that aren't so easy because your mindset is to kind of stay away from doing all of that because you don't know whether or not these girls these days are going to try to falsely accuse you or try to entrap you or something like that, especially if you're out there and you're actually making money and you're doing what you got to do with your life. So your communication level has to be completely different, especially if you want to do smash and dash. And it's like, look, just be straight up and honest, especially if a girl's attractive. Be honest. If you think she's hot, you want to fuck her, be honest. So look, if I talk to you, I'm just letting you know, it's purely going to be a sexual thing. I don't care if she calls you a jerk or not. If she does not just walk away from you, that means she wants it from you. There's no reason for her to sit back and call you a jerk or virtue signal or anything like that. None. She can be like, okay, well, I'm done. I'm not down with that. I'm out. But if she sits there and she's like, this, that, and the other, and she starts yelling at you and spazzing on you, she's testing you because she wants you to turn around her frame of mind. She's now interested, so now she wants you to turn around her frame of mind. You've already said what you had to say. After that, go back to doing whatever you're doing. Just leave her alone. If she gets frustrated and gets pissed off and walks off or does something, gets angry, she's mad at you now because you didn't play her game. You didn't want to get involved with it, this, that, and the other. Okay? That's a great way of getting them to leave you the fuck alone. What if you're in a social circle with somebody and, there's females around then? What happens is in social circles, people start having all kinds of conversations about different topics. You can weigh in on any topic that you want. Remember, as a MGTOW man, there should be no intent behind your words. Even if you just speak straight facts, just don't even put any intentions behind them. If you're MGTOW, speak your piece about whatever you got to speak on and just leave it at that. Because what's going to happen is these girls are going to sit back and wonder. They're going to be wondering what's he's all about. What's up with him? Or they're going to try to test you by, they'll disagree with you on something. But if they try to test you, they're going to really try to press you about your beliefs. They're going to challenge your beliefs because once you get to a point of being MGTOW, your beliefs about females, about life completely changes. If it's a conversation that comes about dating and relationships, you can't even come in with the intent of showing people that you know more about what's going on than anything. If it comes up and they start saying things like, why aren't more guys getting married, or why are women this way and this, that, and the other day, and then women start chiming in and stuff, and the conversation piece comes to you, just be not even flippant. Just speak your piece. Speak your knowledge. Not even your truth. No one needs to know your truth because your truth may not be the truth. That your truth stuff, that's a woman's way of saying that they don't need to be worried about facts. They just need to be worried about what they feel is the factual evidence of whatever it is they believe to be true. Speak your truth. That's what speak your truth is. When you hear someone say, a female say something like that, speak your truth, that's what it means. It means it doesn't matter what the facts are. Whatever's true to her, that's what it is. That's what you gotta believe. Jussie Smollett did that bullshit with his fucking thing. He spoke his truth, not the truth, not the facts. And that's a problem that we have right now when it comes to a lot of men and women in this country with these different mindsets. Women are not speaking the truth, they're speaking their truth. And their truth usually isn't something very factual. So when you're in a conversation with a woman who's speaking her truth or speaking her truth to power, what they're basically saying is, my words mean way more than what's actually real. My interpretation of my experience means a whole lot more than what's actual reality or what's actual fact. And that supersedes the facts and the reality of it all, because it's my truth and I'm speaking my truth and bringing my truth to power. Like shit like that, when you hear women say things like that, especially when you hear them say stuff like in feminist terms and ways, you gotta shut all that shit down early. Those aren't the facts. Doesn't seem like that's actual factual. It just seems like what you believe, but it is what it is. You have the right to believe what you want to believe. I usually deal with truth and facts, things that can be verified, data and evidence. I don't deal with people's emotions and feelings. You can be as blunt as necessary, but you cannot have the intentions behind your words to be that you want people to see how much you know or how smart you are or how knowledgeable you are or your MGTOW philosophy and your MGTOW beliefs. They don't need to know all of that shit. In one of my previous podcasts, I basically stated there was a point where one of the girls that I work with tried to say that she don't date coworkers. And I was like, well, I don't date, period. So, and that kind of like set her off. And then I got the upper hand on her and I had no intentions behind it. It was like, actually, I did have an intention. And that was where I fucked up, because if I really didn't want to be a part of that conversation, I could have just walked away and let them say whatever they want to and just be like, look, I'm not in this conversation. Y'all good. My intention was to let it be known that I don't date. I wanted to let it be known, but I said it so straightforward, it pissed her off in a way that she just started testing me. If I didn't want to pursue the intent whatsoever of showing that I don't date, I would have never even gotten to that conversation. So when you're talking and you don't have intentions, then you're good. That's the main thing behind your conversation pieces when it comes to talking with women. It is what it is, man. Y'all take it easy. It's your boy Mojo Libido. Y'all have a good one. Peace.